Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be learning expansion in algebra, okay? And we'll be learning to expand two sets of brackets. So basically, the last time we learned about removing brackets, okay, where we had just one bracket. But this time around, we'll be learning about expansion where we have two brackets, with two brackets involved. Now, as the lesson progresses, anything you don't understand, be sure to get across to your tutor, who would be more than happy to help. And yes, let's jump right into the lesson. So expansion in algebra, expansion with two sets of bracket. Now let's do some recap. Okay, so in the last lesson we learned to expand standard algebraic expression in this form. So basically you have a multiplying m plus 2, and basically to expand this you basically go a times m plus a times 2. Okay, and what you have in the end is you have am plus 2a. Simple. Okay, now what if you had a situation like this? Okay, so we have expand the algebraic expression a plus 5m plus 2. So this time we actually have two brackets at play. Okay, so as opposed to having just one thing multiplying m plus 2, you actually have an algebraic, as opposed to having just one term multiplying m plus 2. This time around you have an algebraic expression in the bracket, so a plus 5 multiplying m plus 2. Now, how would you go about doing this? Now, it's pretty much the same process, okay? Just one slight difference, all right? And to expand this, basically a plus 5 multiply m plus 2. What you do is you look at a plus 5, okay? And you multiply each of the individual terms in that bracket by m plus 2. Okay, so you start off with a and you say a times m plus 2 plus 5 times m plus 2. Okay, so basically you're looking to expand a bracket where you're looking to expand an expression where you have two sets of brackets. You have a plus 5 in the first bracket and m plus 2 in the second bracket. Okay, and then you multiply, you take out the first terms in the bracket, and you say a, in this case a times m plus 2, and then plus 5 times m plus 2. And from this point on, it's actually quite simple, the process. You just go ahead and expand each of the brackets there. And for the first one you have a times m plus a times 2. For the second one you have 5 times m plus 5 plus 2, and you just go ahead and sum up everything, sum it all up together, and what you have in the end is you have am plus 2a plus 5m plus 10. Simple, straightforward. Okay, that's pretty much it basically. So it's pretty much the same principle. Okay, but this time around you have two brackets at play, and you need to know how to split. So you take the first letter, you multiply by the second bracket. Take the second term, you multiply by the bracket, and you should have your answer. Simple, straightforward. Let's do a few examples. So we have example 1. In example 1, we have expand the algebraic expression x minus 4y minus 5. Okay, and basically to do this, we have x minus 4y minus 5. We take x and we multiply that by y minus 5. Okay, and then we take minus 4 and we multiply that by y minus 5. And when we work that out, we should have, for the first one, we have x times y plus x times minus 5. And then for the second bit, you have minus 4 times 5 plus minus 4 times y plus minus 4 times minus 5. And what you should have in the end is you have xy minus 5x minus 4y plus 20. And that's it. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. So you have 20 on the end there because minus 4 times minus 5 is plus 20. Okay, and you need to be very careful about your negative signs. Okay, so basically you have x and minus 4 in the bracket, so you have x times y minus 5 plus minus 4 times y minus 5. Okay, always assume an addition, okay, and try work to have the negative sign with the number, as opposed to, I'm not sure if you would get exactly what I'm trying to say now, but with constant practice you understand this. Let's do another example. Example 2. Okay, so we have another negative one here, and then basically we have n minus 7 n plus 2. And so we have n multiplying n plus 2 plus minus 7 multiplying n plus 2. Okay, so when you have a negative number, as opposed to writing the minus between, put a plus there and then put the negative number with the digit. Put the negative sign with the number. Okay, and basically instead of saying n then minus 7 times n plus 2, no, it's plus minus 7 times n plus 2. And basically you work this and you should end up with n squared plus 2n minus 7n minus 14, and you should have n squared minus 5n minus 14 in the end when you collect the two like terms there. So you have 2n minus 7n should give you minus 5n. Final example. Okay, so we have example 3, and this time around we're looking to simplify 3x plus 4x minus 5. Okay, so 3x plus 4x minus 5, and following the same principle, basically we have 3x plus 4x minus 5, 3x x minus 5 plus 4x minus 5, and then you just go ahead and simplify all that out, work all that out, and you should end up with 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. So basically expanding when you have two sets of brackets is pretty much the same process. Okay, but then like I said, you take the first term in the bracket and you multiply it by the second bracket. Then you take the second term in the bracket and you multiply it by the second bracket. When you do that, it's pretty much straightforward expansion from that point on, and you just go ahead and solve for your answer. And yes, that's it. That should bring us to the end of this very simple, very interesting lesson. Okay, you can go ahead now and attempt questions on the worksheet. Bye for now.